Hello everyone, let's get started. Today I'm going to update you on the latest steps I've taken with Ethereum and Bitcoin. We managed to catch a good opportunity with Ethereum and also with Bitcoin. I'll talk about both for you, explain the current scenario, and discuss the next actions we have planned. So this week we saw the influence of the US government shutdown, right? Mainly due to political reasons, and that ends up impacting the market. So it was a somewhat unusual movement, but we already expected that this could happen. So what happened with Ethereum? If you check out the last videos I recorded for YouTube, you'll see. And the steps I'm going to show now are about the development, okay? So on Ethereum, we managed to catch an excellent short opportunity. You see, we took a short at the order block on the daily chart where we got an approximate risk reward ratio of 6 to 1. That was about a 14% drop where the price made a change of character on the intraday, okay? But we were focused on the HTF POI, okay? The HTF POI will always be superior to the LTF POI, all right? So if there's a context of internal liquidity for the price to sweep, the price will always tend to mitigate an order block or a POI. It could be an FVG, a BPR. The price will always want to make this mitigation at the daily POI, okay? Or weekly, always on the HTF. So if you're trading on the 1 hour chart, for example, it's interesting for you to look for key levels on the 4 hour, on the daily, and so on. Okay. So always keep in mind that the price will respect the HTF more than the LTF. All right. So we managed to catch this setup as soon as the price reached the internal liquidity of the daily range. We closed our trade, okay, and waited for a position at our daily POI, our bullish POI in this case. Why? Because we had the formation of a trading range on the daily, right, where the price swept the internal liquidity and broke structure. That structure formed the base of the range for us, right? With the base of this range, we wait for the price to confirm the start of the correction of this range. So the price formed this base, broke structure, created internal liquidity for us, then accumulated, generating more liquidity on the lower side. So what happens? The price came, swept this liquidity, and mitigated our POI. What did we consider here as the POI? We considered our hot zone, okay? So in this hot zone, you could have set up your position at the top, at the bottom, or somewhere in between, right? How did I set up my position here? As I shared with the students in the VIP group and also mentioned in the last video I posted, okay, I set up my position with 50% at the top at 3,960 and 50% at 3,830. My average entry was around 3,900 and my target for this trade would be the external liquidity. However, the price here is already reaching a daily order block. Is it a relevant order block? Yes, I'm not going to open a short position here because the prevailing structure is bullish. So for now, I'm not going to open a short position here. For me to take a short position here, I would need the price to align the flow downward. So I'm going to take a partial exit here. Close a partial of 25% and let the rest run to the final target. Remember that the stop loss is already protected. So in Ethereum over the past few days, we managed to catch two excellent trades. Depending on your risk management, two trades like this can pay for your whole month. Two or three trades like this at the start are enough to be very profitable. Of course, we catch several other opportunities. I'm just giving you an example. These are three excellent trades, three where on the long side so far, I've managed to get 14% and I also got 14% on the downside. So if you multiply that by the leverage, it already gives you a very interesting percentage on your invested capital. What do we have here with Bitcoin? With Bitcoin, here's the thing. We're also within a bullish range on the daily chart, but the Bitcoin chart is a bit different. It's more consolidated. So we managed to catch some buying opportunities within this range, but it didn't develop all the way to the all-time high. And in this last week, the price created for us a structure. It's an internal structure, an intraday bearish structure, an interesting structure where the price broke a strong low on the 4-hour chart and made a nice alignment. However, when the price reached our point of interest here, it didn't hold, right? This happened exactly during the US government shutdown, which really disrupted this trade. So in this trade, we took a stop loss. Okay, we entered a short and the price went the other way, so we got stopped out. I even set this aside for you here. This is the result of the Ethereum trade, which is still running for now. And here's the Bitcoin trade where I took a stop loss. So my short was at 16,800 Brazilian reals, 116,800 reais. I entered the short between 115,000 reais and 116,800 reais. My stop loss was at 118,500 Brazilian reals. So it was right at the break here. And how does risk management work when you're trading using institutional analysis? You know, when we talk about institutional analysis, a lot of people think trade like an institution, but it's actually the opposite. We follow their tracks, right? But for you to be profitable in the market, you need good management, right? So how does good management work? Good management is like this. You lose by the spoonful, you lose a little, and when you win a lot, you know? So that's the proportion. And in these two trades, you can see that both trades have a leverage of 10 times, okay? Both are using 10 times leverage. However, in this Ethereum trade, I'm making 10 times more than what I lost here, you see? So it's as if I could be wrong 10 times on the Bitcoin trade and still break even with this stop size, of course. So in the financial market, especially in crypto, because it's so volatile, it's not just the chart that matters, okay? It's a combination, the chart, risk management, and your emotions. So to trade, it's a set of three very important things. So what can we expect for Bitcoin now after this aggressive price movement? We're now in an interesting supply zone. This area here is a bit more extreme, between 122,000 and 124,500. Here would even be the high, but we have an interesting BPR here, and it was a region where the price swept liquidity and immediately dropped. So there's a lot of selling pressure in this area. The price could reach the 122,000 region and drop again, but it's not a good idea to place your order here, okay? It's a good idea for the price to reach this region. Then you drop down to a lower time frame and look for a flow alignment. If you can get a flow alignment here, you can catch a perfect short. Otherwise, the price will set a new all-time high. If the price keeps rising with a lot of volume, it will set a new all-time high. Looking at the bullish bounce, a pullback, what do we have? We had the formation of an order block on the daily chart. We also had a structure break where the price swept internal liquidity, took out this low, which I considered an internal sweep as internal liquidity, and broke the structure. So this validated for us the possibility of trading a bounce in this order block. So that's where we could also set up a buy position in Bitcoin at 114,870. It would be possible to set up an interesting buy position here. And for shorts, in the case of shorts, like I said, it's interesting to wait for the flow to align. You see, I'll keep monitoring the market. We also managed to catch an opportunity in RB. Okay, I shared it with you in the free group and in the VIP group. I also shared it, though not as transparently, in the free group, you know, but the analysis is there both in the free group and on YouTube. Okay, it's a trade in development as well. And I'll keep monitoring the market, analyzing some other opportunities in altcoins, both for day trades and swing trades. And I'll share some analyses with you in the free group, and I'll share signals and analyses in the VIP group. So if you're able to join the VIP group, send me a message here on Telegram and I'll get back to you. Okay, I'll send you the information. If you can't, join the free group. Okay, if you can, share the video with your friends in other groups, you know, the ones that are open. And that's it, guys. In the next few days, I'm closing a new mentorship group. some mentorship students are getting inspired, so I'm going to take on about 2 or 3 more students. Okay, so if you're really interested in learning, whether you're Brazilian or not, get in touch with me on Telegram and I'll get back to you and we can work everything out. All right, that's it, everyone. God bless you. If you have any questions, I'm there on Telegram.